It was during the month of November. Around this time, the sky behaves strangely. One moment, it's perfectly clear, and the next, it's swallowed by thick, dark clouds. Then in a blink, torrential rain begins to pour, sometimes accompanied by violent storms. Those who live in rural areas will know there's a certain joy in collecting mangoes after a storm. It feels like a festival. Everyone rushes beneath the nearby trees to gather the fallen fruits. Only those who've done this as children can truly understand the excitement. But sometimes, joy can turn into something else, something far more disturbing. We tend to forget that. We usually waited until the storm had passed before heading out. But there were times when we couldn't risk the wait. If someone else had already started collecting mangoes before us, we would rush out immediately, rain or no rain. If they got there first, the best. That year, the mangoes were in the middle of ripening. Not fully ripe, but not raw either. Just a few more days, and they'd be perfect. And then, one night, yes, night, not day, a storm rolled in. The sky lit up with constant flashes of lightning. It was so frequent that everything was illuminated almost as clearly as it would be in daylight. It wasn't like the usual storm, where lightning flashes briefly, followed by long silences and the occasional thunderclap. That night, the lightning was relentless, but strangely, there was barely any thunder. The flashes kept coming, again and again. It made the night feel unnatural. It was probably around 10 or 11 p.m., not too late. I quickly called my friends and told them we had to go now, or someone else would beat us to it. We had already picked a specific orchard, as we always did, a quiet place with little foot traffic, even during the day. That night, the orchard we had chosen was empty, just us. Our hearts leapt with joy. Sneaking out of the house had paid off. We smiled to ourselves, proud of our little rebellion. We spread out, collecting mangoes with the strong wind swirling around us. The best ones had already fallen. Each of us had brought large plastic bags, and we filled them with whatever we could find. Despite being friends, everyone raced for the biggest, ripest mangoes. And then, suddenly, one of the boys near me said sharply, "Hey, look, up in that tree." At first, we didn't pay much attention, but we turned to look anyway. He was pointing at a large branch of a big mango tree, one right in front of us. We followed his gesture and froze. There, on the thick branch, stood a figure. It looked like the shape of a human, but not quite. It was as if thick, dark smoke had taken the form of a person. No visible face, no arms or legs, just a shadowy mass that vaguely resembled a human body. And it was watching us. We had no idea how long it had been there. We hadn't heard it. We hadn't seen it arrive. The branch it stood on wasn't very high, nor too low, just the kind of spot we'd usually use a long bamboo pole to shake mangoes from. Sometimes, if we saw mangoes just below a branch like that, we would even climb the tree ourselves, whether it was day or night. But now, we were frozen. We knew we should run, but we couldn't. Our bodies wouldn't move. Our thoughts felt foggy, paralyzed, and the figure just stood there, silent, motionless. I don't know how long we stared at it. Then, it moved. It slowly began to walk. Yes, walk along the branch. Step by unnatural step, it made its way downward. And then, it stepped onto the ground, right in front of the friend who was closest to the tree. It bent down, picked up a mango, and in a low, gritted voice said, "Take it." That was all it said, and we ran. We didn't stop to think. We didn't look back. We didn't speak. We just ran all the way home. By the mercy of Allah, none of us were harmed. But from that night on, none of us ever dared to go out collecting mangoes after dark again.